Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hack Podcast.
Jeez. What is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood Podcast, episode number 74. We are,
Is it 74?
Don't question it. Don't question it. Because you're gonna...
my favorite running thing that we do. Just like, hold on. Is this actually the run? I'm just waiting for the day where you read from the doc, like the title of the podcast, and you're like, welcome to 43. And everyone's like, what the hell? Oh my god, we'll be double that. Eventually. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if we make it that far.
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun. So, what have you been doing this week?
All right, I have an answer to this question this week. I haven't actually started playing it yet, but I have been on like an insane... All right, no, hear me out. I've been on like an insane nostalgia kick for Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 4. Did you play much Oblivion?
Dude, I played everything in Oblivion. I love that game. It was like...
Right?
It was during like the days like I was seriously like being affected by like the weakness and everything. So I was just in bed playing Oblivion. I bought it from GameStop and I was like, you know what? Let me put this in. And just all Oblivion for like 3, 4, 5 days straight of just no lifing it.
Dude, you've just made your periodic paralysis totally sound like an excuse to play video games.
I know, right? I know. And I made it into something.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
dude, it's really good. Yeah. So hold up, you haven't played it at all?
No. See, here's my history with Oblivion, okay?
Okay.
My older brother bought it, a bit like how he bought GW, and then I got super into it. I remember seeing those original trailers of it coming out where there was these guys walking through like a forest and he was trying to hunt a deer and he was going to get some venison, and one of them he finds like a ruin and he goes inside, and one of them I think he's at like Cheydinhal and he's walking through the town, and at another point they're showing off Anvil. And anyway, so I was thinking about Oblivion quite recently in those old days where I used to play it a lot. But my problem with the game was always this. When I got older after, like I did like those first few playthroughs on the PC. But then when I got a tiny bit older, we're talking maybe 2009, 2010, I started modding the game. And there's a whole world of mods out there. There's Oscuro's Oblivion Overhaul, which stops everything scaling with you.
Did they cost money?
No.
Oh, controversy. Dude, all right, go ahead.
Here's how I touch around with the modding thing as well, right? I knew something was sort of going on, didn't really look or care that much, and then I offhandedly mentioned to a friend of mine, I'm thinking of modding Oblivion, and he was like, oh yeah, but you have to pay now, don't you? And I was like, no, I'm sure that's not true. It was just a big controversy. So I started reading about it. 20 minutes after I started reading about it, and I looked at like Gabe's AMA on Reddit and stuff, 20 minutes after, there was an update on Steam that said, on the Steam website that said, we're removing this feature. I was like, I just wasted 20 minutes reading about something that's now no longer a thing. And it was weird.
That's history. It's history, dude. It's history. It wasn't just 20 minutes. It was like a couple days. I can't remember how many days it was.
But by the time I started reading about it, it was 20 minutes after I started reading about it that they put their update on.
It's video game news. You need to be a nerd. Dang it! Stop being a mono gamer.
I used to at least listen to like the oh my god, the Co-optional podcast. I used to listen to it quite a lot, but I don't know. I got burnt out. But then
some people irritated you so much that you just stopped listening to it altogether.
I don't know whether it's necessarily that like. I bet people listen to us. There's stuff that we do that like
irritates them.
But like it doesn't stop them watching. You just like I don't know. I just fizzle out, and I'm like, right, there you go. That's that done then. And basically, everyone who covers video games in general, I don't watch anymore. So like my understanding of general video game news has plummeted the past like 7 or 8 months. It's just terrible. And that's how it owns with the mods.
You would like to think that people would listen to you regardless if they're like the same exact person as you, you know? Like
what do you mean?
You want to hear opinions that are not your own. Isn't that the whole point of like anything that you're watching?
I don't know. I think everyone likes to think they're open-minded and they want to challenge themselves and they want to listen to opinions that aren't their own. But I actually think, in truth, the number of us who are actually like that is infinitesimally small, and they only engage in that kind of mindset very rarely. And I think in general, people just want to be told what to think, and they want to be affirmed of what they already think, and they want to hear someone else say what they already think, but more eloquently than they can. That's honestly what I think 99% of all people want to hear. They just want to hear their own opinion said in a better way or a different way. That's it. Honestly, it's quite cynical, but that's I think we're like that.
Yeah, it tends to happen a lot.
I know I'm like that.
I could stomach a lot of people like I don't want to name names. Yeah, let me not name names.
Whoa! Oh,
no. Well, no. So most of the time, I listen to someone that I actually like, and sometimes they might say something that rubs you the wrong way. Like all of a sudden, someone says something very like sexist or something like that, and you're like,
"Whoa,
that came off a little."
Yeah.
Now, this is not a real example, but it came off a little oof.
I've got a real example of this. All right, I watch a Let's Player. I haven't watched them for a while. I watch a Let's Player, and 99% of what they said was awesome. They're really relaxed, very open about their personal life and stuff. And then I remember randomly in one of their videos, they just randomly started talking about how they donated like $3,000 to like some children's charity or something, and they kept all right, which is cool, awesome. You freaking donated this money. That's really, really cool. And they did it on a stream or something, but they kept talking about it. They kept talking about it, and they made it very clear that basically they had donated this money, but they felt that not enough people had seen them donate the money, and they hadn't got enough kudos for donating the money, and so they were going to keep talking about it on this episode of their LP so that everyone would know.
That?
Well, it was very, very, very clear this is exactly what they were doing.
Wow.
Like, at one point, they were like, yeah, I did it on stream, but, I don't think I had too many viewers there at the time. But, yeah, I do it because, I love the charity. I don't even remember what the charity was, to be honest with you.
That's
I did it
so cringy.
I know, it's terrible. And I'm like, oh, dude, Jesus.
You would like to think that people give the charity just because they give the charity. Like, maybe you want to leave a comment and people read that. The charity would read that. They'll read the comment or whatever like that. Maybe not on stream, but personally, they'll read the comment.
Right.
Like, okay, that was nice. And then that's it. Like, you're just giving it charity. That's
no. You got to.
It's supposed to be charity. You're not supposed to be getting something back. You're supposed to get a little pat in the back, like, "Oh, you did a good job donating $3,000 more than any of us make in like."
Wow, Jesus. It's funny though, because if you donate enough, I've heard that if you donate enough, they'll like dedicate a wing of a hospital to you and stuff and build you a statue. That's the reason I donate to charity. All my money, it just goes charity.
You again.
That's why I'm dead
with
broke.
Building something in your name again. We're still doing this now. It carried on from the last episode into this one.
I've been hatching all these new plans.
You know what we should do? We should do an audio adventure in the beginning of an episode and the end of an episode so they can all tie together.
Wow. What were we talking about? Oh, mods. Yeah, no, so anyway, all right, so here's the way I played Oblivion. Love the game, amazing, super nostalgic about it at the moment.
Right.
But what I started doing was I started modding it, and I'd get crazy excited about all these awesome mods, the massive overhauls you could do. I wouldn't like add like random characters or like houses and stuff. I just liked the big overhauls. But my problem was I'd spend like 2-3 weeks straight hardcore grinding away at modding. And then I'd never really play the game properly because I'd go in and I'd notice something was wrong and then I'd want to mod that slightly. And then, I don't know, and then I just wouldn't get actual playthroughs, proper playthroughs of a modded setup. So, and by the time you get in, you started using the console constantly. So, 2011, okay, Wooden Potatoes prepares for the future. What I did the very last time I did this, okay, was I made a huge folder, all right, and everything I did with modding, everything I learned, because every time you come back to it, you relearn all the modding stuff, and you go through this whole process again, and you never end up playing, and I did this like 3-4 times in a row. 2011, here's what I did. After I had done like most of the modding stuff, and I had a really, really cool like Oblivion setup, I wrote myself a huge guide. It's pages and pages and pages and pages long. And literally all it is it's step by step. 1, do this. 2, do this. Install this, install this, install this, install this, install this. And every mod that I wanted, everything is already there in the folders in OMOD form, ready to be loaded into Oblivion. So I knew that the next time I'd want to play Oblivion, I wouldn't have to involve myself in any of the website stuff. All I had to do was read my own guide, written, which is now 4 years old, read my own guide and install everything into Oblivion. And then I wouldn't be in mod mode, and then I'd just play the game. And for the first time ever, I would properly play the modded setup. That was the plan in 2011.
Right.
Recently, 2015.
Okay.
I'm seriously buzzing on Oblivion nostalgia this week. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to play the game. This is it. Open up the old thing, start going through the stuff, and then I'm like, a Skiro's Oblivion overhaul. This was in like a beta. Like what I've got right here is like a beta for the next update. You know, that was 4 years ago. I wonder whether there's been an update. It won't hurt to just go check. See, you know, maybe they've got an update. Maybe they do. Maybe there's just, look, it's like 2 versions ahead now. Oh my god, yes, okay, we'll get that. What about this mod? Oh, this might have an update as well. Okay, so basically, long and short of the story,
man,
it still has kind of worked. Because I've got like everything, but each time I'm following my guide and I'm slowly putting stuff in, but every time I'm going online and seeing if there's an update, and if there's an update, then it sometimes means some old things I had aren't needed anymore, and sometimes there's new stuff I've been finding, so I'm a little bit slipping, a little bit, and I'm hoping it doesn't all
Have
come
you actually
down.
played it?
I have played the starter dungeon to ensure that my bashed patch works correctly.
You mean like before you get to the open world?
Yes. I have also used console commands to teleport to the open world to ensure that my frames are not terrible. Because I got the PC upgrade as well, right? So I'm like, hell yeah, it's going to be amazing. The worst thing about Oblivion, though, is it only uses like 1 core. And so I still don't get great frames in that game. Like, I get the same frames in my modern
So have you beaten Oblivion, though?
Yeah. When I first started playing it, I did it all. And that's where most of my nostalgia hangs.
And the DLC packs?
Yeah. Well, okay, I completed Knights of the Nine, I completed Shivering Isles. There are a lot of the smaller DLC packs that I never completed, like the Orrery and, you know, certain things like that. But you see, I've got mods that introduce those and make them better and integrate them better into the main storyline.
Oh my gosh, some of you guys are really addicted to mods. You guys really need to chill out and just actually play the damn game.
No, but the game's going to be so much better in every way once I just start playing. I just got to finish my guide. That's all I got to do. Next week, there'll be an update, and I would have been playing.
I got berated, like I remember when I was playing Dragon Age 2, people like, you didn't use mods? I mean, like, excuse me. Some of these people play this on consoles. Okay, wow. I need to play the original thing, and I think I did the same thing for The Witcher 2.
First playthrough, definitely. It's got to be vanilla. It's got to be. How can you hold a conversation with anyone?
You don't know what you're changing, so you were install this. Oh, it's an unofficial patch from a developer named Flash. He must run really fast. It's like no, it's not an official patch. I'm gonna play the game how it was designed the first time, and then maybe I won't go too hard on it. Like, oh, this is broken, or whatever. I'm not gonna go too hard on it. Obviously, like that. I'm gonna talk more about the story, how the combat is. You know, I will try the mod out to see, you know, how it is or whatnot. But like, I'm going to talk about the vanilla game. I'm not going to talk about the modded one. If you, some people actually prefer vanilla. You know,
There's a thing about vanilla that I always kind of felt like when you mod a game, and especially like with Oblivion, with the amount that you can mod and the amount you can change, it's kind of weird because I feel like one of the things I enjoy most, especially now that I've started doing YouTube stuff, right, is like sharing stuff with people, like seriously showing and being able to, you know, have this experience across more than just you. And there was always kind of a really lonely thing about like modding Oblivion and playing, that for me anyway, that you would install all this cool stuff and it would be really awesome, but you would be the only one that would get this exact experience of your Morrowind setup, right? Like, you're the only one that's gonna feel how awesome the game is under this exact setup. And so it's really hard to like hold a conversation with other people about that. At least when it's like vanilla games, you can go into work, you can go into school, you can go wherever, and like I remember going into work when Skyrim came out. And like a bunch of the guys around had bought it, and we were like, "Oh yeah, there's this. Oh, I went to this was literally like the release day, and everyone was like talking about different things they'd seen in the game. And they were talking about how if you walk to the river, you can see little fish jumping out, salmon like going up the river and stuff. And we're like, oh, and you can catch bugs, and if you look closely, I remember that so clearly, and that was really cool to share it. But when you mod, like let's say you modded to add the fish jumping upstream, that you can't share that properly with people. So like I don't know. That's one lonely thing about modding that I've always experienced. But this time I play through, I'm actually going to play through with a friend, and we're going to share our save files and stuff. It's going to be so cool.
One is the loneliest number.
Oh. Are you lonely? Cool. 808-777-523 for the VisualWood hotline.
Where did you get that number? Where you just Googled a number and just gave it up?
No, I just made it up. I don't know. Don't ring that number. I don't know what it is, if that's even a number.
Oh my gosh.
Don't ring. Oh, do ring the number. If someone picks up, let us know. And remember, that number's going to be different depending on the country you're in. So one of you in your country, if you're like our our Belarus listener or something, come on, ring the number maybe.
You should play the intro. VisualWood. Yeah, you should play that like really loud. Huh?
You're really good at that. That was awesome.
No, I wasn't. Anyways, so
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, about the video you did, Conker's Bad Fur Day in Project Spark. All right, because this seemed pretty random for me to just see the video go up. It looked. Now I'm a big fan. I'm one of these heathens that never played it on the Nintendo 64, but played it on the Xbox, and I loved that game. I thought that was the best game. Loved Conkers. So did you play the original Conkers, and how does it compare to this crazy thing? Because it looked very different in Project Spark.
I played it as a child.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I played it as a child, so it's a little sketchy. I remember some of it. I've watched some LPs to kind of reminisce on the moments of it. This one is PG-13, maybe PG. This is a bunch of fart jokes and piss jokes. And the game is broken in their system, Project Spark. Like you can tell, like it's not that it's just that it's made in Project Spark. That their Project Spark system is just not good enough to handle some of the missions inside of Conker.
What's the development story of this game? Where does it come from? Who made it? Was it a fan? What's the deal?
Well,
What even is the concept of making games in Project Spark?
I think they might have got. I don't take this at face value. I'll look it up now, but I think they got the license to use it, and they made it in Project Spark to try to boost not sales, but attention to their game, to Project Spark. Because it really no one cares about Project Spark right now. You don't hear it anywhere. There's no YouTubers growing from playing Project Spark. It's just there. Because it's not that good. It's laggy. It's broken. Really, at least the Conker part of it. I had to pay $5 for this, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So what I'm reading here is it's an add-on for Project Spark that was made because the sequel was cancelled by Rare a long time ago. It's the same voice actor doing the line, so it was professionally done, I'm guessing.
Well, they paid him.
It's just in Project Spark.
Because this is backed by Microsoft. This is supposed to be like a Little Big Planet for Xbox and PC.
It looked kind of like, Little Big Planet. Like when a fan remakes a game in Little Big Planet. It looked kind of like that, basically.
Yeah.
It looked like it was on that level, fan level, but it's professionally done.
Okay, so this is kind of like a community game that should be for free. It's just very short. It's $5, and they try to lead you into buying a community pack as well for more money. you know, that will give you all the assets and stuff like that, so you can create your own experience and stuff like that, and probably do it a lot better than what's in here. It has some of the same elements, like you fly around, you know, using the sonic tails, you know, spinny move, the helicopter tail. You could you have the context B, where it always gives you what you need, but it's very like. It's like an intro to it, and you have like 3 missions. So you have to get $300, and each mission gives you like $100, because you have to pay your tab at the plug-in Conker. No,
right?
Is it the plug? Is it what? The plug-in clock? What is it called again?
I can't remember what it's called. No,
the plug-in Conker. The Conker.
All right, I think you got the gist of it.
Yeah. I'm the plug and.
This is the sound of Googling, guys.
Oh my gosh, it's not even coming up on Google. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's weird because I had the name just like a second ago, and it just disappeared from my name from my head.
Not even Google. What did Google come up with? Did it have
Nothing.
no results?
It gave me dork food, and cooking and concert.
Wow.
Cooking up Guster Arts, the Harvin Crimson.
That's totally it, right?
Yeah. It's really weird. So I don't know what I just looked up. Anyways, so this would have been good for free. Like, there's a lot of things that just like the frame rate is bad. The sections go on for too long, like the shooting section that you see in the gameplay video. You're just kind of wondering like why. You know, the boss battles. The boss battle with the Teddy was pretty cool, but also really broken because the Conker doesn't control well. So when you're standing still and you put pressure onto the thumb to move him, he slowly starts running, right? And it doesn't work with like the boss battle for the Teddy because you have to constantly quickly move. And it doesn't matter about the sensitivity that you're like pressing it really hard for him to jerk right, and he doesn't. He slowly moves to the right. And then the lasers hit him and he slowly stops. It's just doesn't work. It doesn't work properly. It's like an unfinished, unpolished mess that a community member made, not a team of developers. It seems like something is wrong with the Project Spark system of itself.
Wait. Are you saying it was a community member, or are you saying it feels like a community member?
It feels like a community project. Okay. That some guy made it on his off time after his job at the hardware store.
Which would be very impressive if that is true. I mean, I don't know if it definitely is true.
But it's not. It's made by them. It's made by them, and it's bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's not worth your $5. You use that $5 to go to McDonald's, Mickey D's, get yourself a double cheeseburger.
Really? You would take a well, not you, because you're vegan and stuff now. Well, but you would take a McDonald's over. Oh, is there an update? Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's.
All right. Forget Conkers. Talk to me. What happened? Did you cave?
No. It was actually very easy to give up meat. It was actually very easy. So what happened was it didn't work for me. Like, the only reason I took it up is because I needed to try something different. I tried.
But you barely tried it. It's been a week. Less than a week. Over 2 weeks. Already given up.
I tried it over 2 weeks now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't given it up. I know what works. I have 2 times in my life where I've done things and it worked for a while. One time when I was in New York, and my uncle doesn't know what he fed me. I was very young, but he ended up giving me a lot of muscle, and I lost a lot of weight when I was over there in New York with him. How
long were you there?
I was there for 2 months. It took 3 days I got extremely weak the first day, and then the third day I was like a regular boy. I get up in the morning, I had energy, I could run, I can do whatever I wanted throughout the whole 2 months. As soon as I came home and at, like, my mom's cooking, all that went away. I went right back to having attacks and stuff.
Wow,
I remember vaguely of what I ate, and I was wondering, I was like, oh, did I eat meat much? And I'm like, yeah, I ate some eggs and stuff, so maybe like slightly vegetarian diet that he was kind of on, but he never called it vegetarian or anything. He just called it healthy eating. He was a weight trainer at the time, and he had a ton of medicine, which I did that as well. I did a ton of medicine. Yeah, well, I mean, sorry, not medicine. A ton of vitamins. All right, and I mean, you could get your vitamins from your food. You don't necessarily need to get supplements. But a lot of people say a good vitamin can go a long way. Everyone has their own thing, and oh my gosh, I read one comment, and did not read anything from last week's podcast because you guys would. I knew you guys would. Because so many people have like their own interpretation of what's healthy and whatever. I didn't say vegan was healthy. I just said I wanted to try it because, listen, Nick, I have been going through this for a long time, and I will try anything to get rid of it. But I also have responsibilities. I run the thing at church. I have to do videos. I have to be on camera. I have to be able to get up out of my chair. I have to do a lot of things. I have to do the stuff around the house. I have to be able to move. So if something is not working within a month, I tried this for over 2 weeks, but if something's not working, I'm just not gonna do it because I know what I've felt things that have worked before.
Well, it's fair enough that you try as well, Like,
yeah. I mean, I tried for a month or two. Usually people say try going raw for a month. That tends to help some diseases and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't have the luxury right now. That's like the last thing I haven't tried. Usually I tried the paleo. I tried anything that has a name to it. Usually what I stick with, I mean, obviously I've lost weight. I know what I'm doing. What I stick with is just, kind of staying away from too much carbs, eating more meats and veggies and fruits and stuff like that. Yeah. Smaller portions. Don't overeat. Don't snack too much. The basic stuff. Okay. This didn't work. All right, let's wrap it up. This didn't work. I've tried vitamins. I've tried all sorts of things. I spent like hundreds of dollars on vitamins at one time trying to figure out what was going on, and it's probably all being wasted because I mean, taking so many vitamins, I don't think that's gonna really do much. At least in my case, anyway.
Yeah.
My doctor has no idea. He's totally clueless. My neuro doctor is totally clueless of what I have. He just reads what his doctor note says. All of Grady is just like fascinated.
That's so bad.
They're like fascinated by me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, we never had a person like you in our hospital." I think I just said this before. Like, man, the periodic paralysis, we never had anything like this. And they're constantly asking me questions, but nothing ever comes of it. So. Yeah, I tried a lot of stuff. Listen, I used to be, for people who don't know me, I used to be over 300 pounds and feeling sad for myself. I did something about it. I lost weight, and I still have this thing. I try a bunch of different stuff. Vegan didn't work out for me.
I think it's kind of a cool little chapter. I do.
I try everything. I'll try everything. And maybe I should have tried it for more than a month. But
tell me what the first thing was that you ate that broke it. Because if you say something like delicious now, then everyone listening, okay, is just going to be, he just gave up because he wanted this tasty snack. Well, so what was it?
I had a really violent attack, right? All of a sudden. Usually I don't have that so quickly. And it's been slowly working. Usually it slowly creeps up on me and I get weaker and weaker every single day, right? But this one, it was violent. Like, boom. I woke up and I'm like, oh, this is an unfamiliar feeling. Like, it's been a while since I had, the cold sweat wake up where you're like, oh no, I'm weak. Holy crap. You know? So it wasn't so bad. Like, I could still walk up the stairs and stuff. So my friend came over and it's like, let's go get something to eat.
Oh God, the friend, the enabler.
Yeah. Well, no, I already stopped it. I didn't eat any meat when I stopped it either. I didn't need to eat meat, so it didn't bother me as much. So I, after a couple of days, he came over and we went to the store and got like a freshly made pizza. That's like it. They freshly make it in the morning and they put it in the refrigerator for you to buy.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it had all the meats on it, bacon, everything, dude, everything. And I was like, you know what? This is the meal I'm gonna break it on because you know what? People would want me to break it on something like this, not something healthy like. Like what I would do would be like a couple chicken breasts in the oven with some hot sauce, and then boom, that's my healthy meal for the day.
Sauce?
Huh?
Sriracha hot sauce?
Sriracha. I don't know if it's as great on everything. Like a lot of people say it's great on everything, and I don't know if I agree. I do like it. I just don't think it's great on everything. I do love this barbecue sriracha hot sauce that I have from. I'm not gonna say where I got it from because I say them every single time. I use that on everything because it tastes really, really good. But yeah, Louisiana hot sauce is pretty good. I kind of like that taste. But yeah,
Jesus, such a hot sauce connoisseur. So it's a giant pizza with all different kind of meat on it.
Yeah. And my friend actually got full, and it's funny. We were making jokes because I was really big in high school and he was extremely skinny, but he would eat whatever he wanted. Overeat.
If this was a face cam show right now, by the way, I'd be looking knowingly right into the camera at the audience like, yeah, we know why it all ended.
What do you mean?
you woke up, you wanted pizza one day.
No, I didn't want pizza.
All right, okay, well, fair enough.
Well,
fair enough.
He likes to eat unhealthy, so I was like, if we're gonna eat unhealthy. Let's eat the pizza. Let's eat this one that's freshly made or whatever. I don't really have meals like this at all. So once in a blue moon, I do eat something like this.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually on Domino's.co.uk right now ordering.
She's so disgusting. You can't even eat pizza like regular. Like no, it has to be Domino's hot and ready. Hot and ready, whatever they throw on there. I used to work at Little Caesars, so I know like what they do and how long vegetables stay in the refrigerator and stuff like that.
Sorry, I don't get vegetables on my pizza.
Meat's in there too. It's all in the same place. They just stay in that refrigerator.
I'm sure there's no health code violations. I'm sure we're all right.
Right, and how dirty that back alley is, the back of
Dude, I've worked in massive industrial kitchen before. I know how.
Well, you didn't work in the U.S. and U.S. is dirty.
Oh well, look, we're not really famed for our great food here anyway. So
yeah,
in the UK specifically. Okay, I got another thing I wanna talk to you about.
Right.
That I mentioned at the start of the pod, and apparently you said there's a big thing. So I saw this trailer, okay, a friend linked it to me on Steam, for Titan Souls. And again, as we have established in this podcast, I know nothing about contemporary gaming news and stuff, like in general. I thought this just looked really cool. You play as like a little guy, all you have is like one attack or something, one arrow that comes back to you, and you're tiny, and it's like Shadow of the Colossus in like top-down kind of bit styley kind of game. It looked amazing.
Everything is one hit. You die from bosses in one hit, and
it looked so good, dude. Like incredible. And so I was just going to talk to you about how cool it looked and the idea of playing it. But then you said there's been a big thing about it. What's going on?
No, because you didn't play it, and I was just like, why are you even talking about it?
Yeah, but then you said there's a big Titan Souls controversy. Titan Souls is the name of the game.
I want to talk about it. Listen.
Well, just tell me the gist of it.
Okay,
just the gist.
well,
we don't have to sit either side of the fence or whatever it is. I just want to know.
Total Biscuit said that he didn't care for it. All right.
Okay. All right.
He got a review copy of it. Right, and then he put on Twitter that he didn't care for it. It's not a game for him. And then one of the developers decided to attack him. Oh my God, Total Biscuit doesn't like our game. Oh, like he's like a pompous, butthole, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And then Total Biscuit, he makes his SoundCloud thing. Oh, I was gonna talk about your game and give you views or blah blah blah, but now I'm not because then.
Oh, what is this?
Because
really?
Because I mean it's true. Like he's not gonna review it properly. He's gonna think about the guy's comment the whole time, and blah blah blah, and it's just this whole stupid thing that I just could care less about.
This is one of those really kind of cool things, though, that used to happen behind closed doors all the time, but because now so much of the way we get our information, especially like in terms of like when it comes to personality-driven stuff, like YouTube-based stuff, or like when you got someone like TV, it's kind of cool now that while this used to happen, to professionals and people in shirts and, trousers while they're at work and then they'd come home and forget about it, we get to see it all on like really public places like Twitter, and then, it's all public as it comes out. I'm sure this is nothing new. I'm sure plenty of times people have been like, oh, how dare you not like our game, blah, 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 and then, it's been on the minds of someone who's been trying to do a review, even outside of games, in any industry. But no, we get to sit down with our popcorn and watch it all unfold.
The Cock and Plucker. That's the name of Conker's bar. That's the name of Conker's bar. Yeah, I did that for comedic effect. I don't know. It's one of those things where, Total Biscuit holds a lot of the audience that has money. He has a lot of the audience is mature. They're probably the people who are not so vocal as well. He has a mature audience that have a job, they have money, and they will spend. So they will spend money, and he has that position that if he puts out a I guess not a review, first impressions, that it's a good game, people will buy it. Except for like for someone like PewDiePie, people won't buy the game if he plays it because no one's going there to get a review. They're going there to laugh, and they only care about him. They don't really care about the game he's playing. He could play a Flash game about touching Justin Bieber, and it would be okay. It doesn't matter. It'll get 1 million views, whatever. No one's gonna go and play Justin.
It's kind of an interesting example you give there.
Yeah. I like looking at YouTubers. It's not like I watch the guy or anything like that. There's only so much. Like, there's nothing bad about him. I'm not gonna be the hipster guy. The reason why I don't talk about PewDiePie or anything like that, because I want to be the hipster guy. Is like, I don't really care. I don't really get why people just hate the guy so much. It's just like
they're not him, guy.
Exactly. It's kind of like jealousy and stuff like that, and that's why you see a lot of the YouTubers. They don't really get inside of this whole, PewDiePie is whatever. PewDiePie is a dick. PewDiePie is this. PewDiePie is that. Because why? Why? He made it. So what? Like, he made it.
It's an example of the peak, right? Like, if anything, it should be inspiring.
Yeah. It is a peak. For me, it looks like Data to me. Like, okay, so he made.
Oh God, that is one of the nerdiest things I've heard you say in a long time. I see this person as Data. Wow, so good.
As I put up my glasses. Yeah, nerdy.
Input his information into my spreadsheet.
I need to meet the Black Nerd Comedy one day. I just need to be in a video with him. I need it in my life. List. I really do. I'm gonna get my silver play button. Don't worry. We're gonna do it this year. This year, baby. You almost there. We're gonna do it. Oh, we shouldn't be talking about this on the podcast. Anyways, so I have been playing The Witcher 2.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning this. Yeah. How's that been going?
I'm probably gonna do a review. I feel like I forgot how long reviews take to do. It has ruined my week. Yeah. Like, it has demolished my way. I put up my Conker video, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a Guild Wars 2 video. I'm going to do a review. And then, you dive into The Witcher, and then you want to give us, you want to do the side quests and stuff like that. It just evaporates everything. And then when I get to Guild Wars 2, I'm like, my Norn is too freaking fat. I want to make him smaller. So all the crafting I did on him, all the everything I did on him, the the bag slot.
Yeah, I saw your tweet actually about this.
I removed his name and everything and gave it to a small human. I wanted a humanoid, not an Azura, because the Azuras are too small.
You got to get all the story dungeons back. You got to get world completion back.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff, dude.
So I leveled the human up to level 80 in one day, and then now I'm doing map completion, which is gonna take me years.
What did you do for the 1 day 80?
I did, of course, my level 20 stroll. I have like 20 billion of those, so I could literally just waste them. So I did that, so I'm 20. Then I started doing.
You should keep on with those.
Yeah, and then I did some Edge of the Mist, which is a pretty good one, especially for early levels. To get around 30-ish or whatever, if you have a good train going. If people are just dead, they have those dead spells, when nothing's really going on with the game, no one really wants to play, they just kind of just like don't do trains, and they don't do it properly. And if you don't have a good commander that knows how to do it and they're actually trying to play the game, no one wants to play the game. People want to level up, dude. Like, don't try to fight people. Like,
but it could be so cool if people wanted to fight in there. That's a cool map.
No, well, yeah, it is. When you fight people, if you have a staff with the Guardian, you can just like tag everyone and get all this XP. Yeah, I have a lot of birthday boosters to use, and they last forever.
Else did you do,
and then I crafted for most of the way.
Okay.
I got so tired of crafting that I used the Tomes of Knowledge for the last couple levels.
Yeah, well, that's fine. They're using those as well. How many did you have?
I had like an extra 40 just lying around, but I didn't use it.
So you could have got half. Oh, wow.
No. I didn't use all of them. No. I just used it for a couple levels, and that's it. I used crafting for most of the way and Edge of the Mist because, man, it's tiring. A lot of that stuff is tiring. And now the reason why I did it this way is because now I can do map completion while using the Traveler rune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been practicing combos while I'm doing map completion. So I've been like popping 5 on
focus.
Pop 5 on focus, popping virtue, switching to my hammer, pop 5, and then immediately doing judge's intervention and stuff like that, and doing the combos. And so I've been practicing like different combos, doing the golf number 4 on the hammer, and then do judge's intervention while he flattens onto the floor, stuff like that. I've been messing around trying to get very familiar.
Judges
using
is
different
a great skill.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Dude, it's weird that you picked this timing, because what you could have done is just wait a little while for when they put the specialization stuff in, and then do it there, and you would have felt how the new leveling works with the unlocking the skills differently and like specializing and stuff. I don't know. I think I'm gonna level a new character when that comes out, because that's gonna be so weird and different. Like, no skill points, no collecting traits around the world. It's just gonna be a very different experience. What is that? It's easier now. It's like more streamlined. You get more choice.
Streamlined. No, I want it now, and they're gonna release it like months from now. I don't got time for that.
That's true.
I gotta do videos and stuff, and
ain't nobody got time for that.
I ain't waiting for Guild Wars. When you start waiting for Guild Wars 2 to do something, you're gonna be waiting a long time. I love those guys, but you just wait and wait and wait. Yeah. So It doesn't even look finished yet. Like, there's no way that's gonna be like, oh, wait a little while. Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna be playing my Norn Fat the Guardian months and months and months and months, and they're gonna be all in my videos, and all you're gonna see is a big fat Norn butt throughout the whole time. Are you gonna
change your YouTube generic icon thing? Is your Norn, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change a lot of things.
If you change that, then it's like you've killed him for good.
I know. It's like murder almost. And this is
just do one of your face in the same style. That would be pretty interesting.
So this is evidence right now. So I might want to just
that you took his head off.
just take this podcast down.
Oh no! Oh my god.
So movie club.
All right, wait. Okay, yeah, movie club. All right. We watched The Truman Show. I'm going to be kind of mean to you here.
Yeah, you're going to say, that thing that I knew didn't really ruin the movie for me. That's what you're going to say?
Yes, that's what I'm going to say. You're damn right. What are you talking about? You said at one point, I remember in our conversation, you said there is no point watching the movie. It's useless if you know the... And the movie opens basically telling you the thing that I thought was a big spoiler at the end. You know it the whole way through the movie. What are you talking about?
I wish I could have saw your face.
I was watching. I
wish I could have saw your face when you saw it. Like, hold up, what?
No. Okay, can I tell you what? Can I tell you what I was thinking? All right. Okay.
All right.
All right, this is gonna spoil the movie straight away. Okay.
Oh, okay. Spoilers, guys. Obviously, it's a very old movie. There's no way to talk about this movie.
The movie is about a guy whose entire life is a charade. He's a TV show, okay? And it's ultimately him figuring it out. It's an incredible movie. It's an amazing movie. I thought the twist was this. And I even said to Matt off the pod, I said, is this the twist? And you were kind of cagey about it. I thought the twist on The Truman Show was that you were just watching a regular movie, and at the very end, it reveals the Earth, the entire planet Earth, has always just been a TV show for aliens. That's what I thought the twist was. And I said Matt something to that effect and didn't get a confirmation or nothing on it, right? So then I start watching The Truman Show, and then it's quite obvious that the whole thing is his life's a TV show. And even when it's slightly like, oh, what's going on? And they start doing like the product placement stuff in it. Oh my god, it's so good, and it all looks fake, and and it's all like oversaturated, and it's all oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. But
Jim Carrey.
I spent the entire movie. All right, Matt, because of our conversation and because of you saying that it's all ruined, I spent the entire movie thinking that it was then also going to end at the very end that not only is Truman in a TV show, but everyone who built Truman's TV show and is outside of the TV show and regular citizens of Earth are also in a TV show. I thought it was and I thought the movie was gonna ruin itself at the end with some crazy twist, and then that twist didn't happen, and I was just sat there like, that was an amazing movie. I can't believe that I was so put off of watching it. All right, you have to justify yourself now. What's the deal, bro?
Well, okay, I went into this movie. I think the best way to go inside any movie is not knowing anything about it, and that's why I say I stop watching trailers, because every time I watch a trailer, I end up stopping it 10 seconds in because it's revealing too much. You know? So I stopped watching trailers altogether. Except for like Star Wars. Of course you want to watch like the trailer, like, oh, I want to see lightsabers. You get all goo gaga about stuff like that. I enjoyed this movie back then because I didn't know anything about it. And my girlfriend at the time was just wouldn't tell me anything. Just wouldn't tell me anything.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it better because of that. I didn't know anything. And I didn't know that your extent knowledge was just like
aliens.
Aliens.
Do you know what I thought they were doing? You know how like Jim Carrey's great, all right, but what I really like about this movie as well is once it's quite clear that it is a TV show, it almost swaps the main character to the guy who created the TV show, and he gets way more screen time, like compared to Jim Carrey. If you look at the last like half of that movie, Jim Carrey's not in it very much, while the other guy, the bald guy with the blue eyes and who's like in charge of the TV show, is like a huge character. Do you know what I thought they were doing? I thought they were like replacing Jim Carrey's main character with him as a main character, and then it was going to be him finding out he was being watched. Like, that's what I thought they were doing with the whole...
Oh my gosh. You kept thinking of this whole crazy plot behind it. No,
yeah.
I didn't think they took him out so much. I think they just wanted to show
it made sense to take
the
him
motivation and what he was doing and what it was about and this whole TV show. So when it ends properly and you're not wondering why and blah blah blah, and you're like missing so many pieces to the puzzle. It's like finishing a jigsaw puzzle and you're like, no, I'm missing the face of Legolas or whatever. If you're wanting, you don't want a missing piece. And this one, it ended appropriately.
Really, really good ending.
Really.
I loved everything about this movie.
Straight up in the beginning, you see that it's a TV show, and they're talking about the Truman Show. Jim Carrey has no idea that he's in a show. This guy built a dome around, I guess, like on Earth, and you could actually see it in space. It's so big, and everyone.
Space.
Yeah, and everyone, space.
Aliens are gonna,
and you're like looking. Hold on, is that the alien ship?
I thought it was gonna zoom out, and a UFO would be there.
Yeah. Everyone in the town are extras, and like his mother and his wife, his best friend, are all actors, playing a leading role, and straight up in the beginning, it establishes the story and moves the plot. Like as soon as he gets out, a freaking spotlight drops, and it's just like boom, 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 and it cuts. It keeps going, and I feel like, it's like moving, not too fast, but just right. And I felt like the guy just knew what he was doing. The camera angles, you see, like the camera angles are very like hidden.
Periscope. You see, like there's like they're rounded slightly, so you feel like you are in like hidden cameras looking at him, like in periscopes and small things like that. Small holes.
Obviously, he starts to figure out things. He's 30 years old. He starts to figure out things, and there are a lot of things where he just didn't want to believe that he was in a TV show or everything was fake. He kind of wanted to live in his little bubble, so he would like, especially with the woman, right? That the extra that he kind of liked. And that he was supposed to fall in love with the cheerleader girl, and they kind of forced the cheerleader girl on him to get married to him, because
like a plot point.
Yeah, exactly, because she was casted for that, but he really wanted the random extra, and they locked eyes and blah blah blah, and they had this kiss, and then they took her away, and she was like, "Oh, it's all fake," and blah blah blah, and like
she breaks back in. And they do a lot of stuff in the movie talking about coming back in.
I felt like her at the end, they didn't need to show her at all at the end. Like,
I think she kind of represents though that there is hope for him. There is something good for him on the outside world.
Right. I felt that it would have been okay to just one shot of her. That's it.
Not
one
have
shot
her
of
be a huge emotional part.
Yeah. That whole like yes, and she runs down the stairs. It would have been a almost perfect movie, I think. If
that's fair enough.
It's a minor complaint overall. Man, Jim Carrey does a good job. It just reminds me that there's not enough Jim Carrey in my life anymore. It
made me want to watch Eternal Sunshine.
Rubbish slock, huh?
It made me want to watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I think that's probably my favorite movie he's ever been in. I don't like his comedy too much.
Nah? It's very I never watched Dumb and Dumber or the new one. I know I wasn't gonna like it because I just don't like that type of stuff anymore.
Out?
Huh?
Is that actually out?
That's been out for a while.
Really? I remember that they were making it. Maybe I'm getting it confused with the New Zealander that they're doing. I hope it's good, because Anchorman 2 wasn't too good. Oh, God. There's sequels to comedies that come, like, decades later. Kind of scary to me. I do want to say one thing about The Truman Show. In your defense here, like last week's Matt's defense. Yes, the movie does start by saying it gives you some very vague concepts, and it says, The Truman Show. But it doesn't sit you down and pander to you as a viewer and say, oh, look, this is... So, actually, in truth, for a good while, the first quarter of the movie or so, it's a really, really surreal, weird movie because, yes, you kind of have the idea TV show, but you don't know for sure. And so they're just loose ideas, and you see the spotlight falls, and you see just weird things, and you can see that people keep looking directly at the camera and talking about the product that they're using, and everyone's pumped up in a very specific way, but you don't know 100%, just like Jim Carrey doesn't know 100%. And so, like, it's a really surreal, odd movie. I think it can lose viewers in that early bit with people who don't stick with it. And the thing that I think this movie shines at more than any other movie I've ever seen in my whole life before is it's a movie that starts really surreal and seems almost like you're never going to understand it fully, and that it's just a weird shooting style and it's kind of ethereal. And then it actually transitions into something that's perfectly understandable. Everything you've seen so far does make sense, and all of a sudden it's really grounded, and you get and it becomes, much more of a standard movie where you're very much invested in the characters, their emotions, and it has like a strong narrative. Like this movie does that transition from a surreal kind of weird movie into like something awesome that makes tons of sense super well. Like, I remember one specific shot as well, where he's really starting to catch on, and he's trying to drive down the road, he's trying to escape, and all the cars come out in front of him, and traffic just gets simulated in front of him, and it's so perfect and mechanical. That was like one of my favorite parts of the movie, just watching how like there's still this slim chance that he could be the one cracking, and that it's not a TV show,
right?
But and it's a very slim chance. But then you see like such stuff like, the fire appearing on the road, and then, just caution is completely thrown to the wind, and you know that, and that's really, really cool, the way that it, and like Jim Carrey's realization totally falls in line with the audience's realization, and then the movie kind of changes, and you're looking outside the dome more, and it's more a question of like, okay, think about how plausible is this? How possible is something like this? Well, look, they got this giant, incomprehensible dome thing, and then you got other questions like, let's look at the ethics of this, and ultimately that's what the movie comes down to. This man has no freedom, he's essentially a prisoner, they're dictating everything in his life, and obviously, and so it's like this incredibly crazy, exaggerated situation that it eases you into in this really beautiful way. Like, I really, really liked the movie. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, there's something I want to point out. There's a certain part of the movie where it's just like, man, why is he seeing everything go wrong now? Right now. And you kind of think about that in real life, where you kind of look at things.
Well, they even explain that, right? And they explain that they turned it into a plot point, that, the woman broke back in, and then it had created this. They realized that Jim Carrey was actually starting to figure things out, and they're like, how do we deal with this? Well, why don't we make this, a plot point for this week's worth of episodes? And that's what it was. And they were so sure that he would, have just resolved it for himself and choose to stay, that it came as a shock, when the next week
I don't know
started.
if it was a plot point for I think they resolved it by using, like, putting the dad back in and stuff like that. But I think I don't think it was a plot point for him to see, like, the elevator thing. And
no.
He started to realize everything was wrong. Like, when he wake up, the dog will come after him. He will say hello to the same black family over and over again. Like, it was the same thing. The same two twin guys would push him to the wall. Maybe they were setting up something, and they need to hurry up or whatever. Like, everything was coordinated.
On rotation.
Yeah, it's a rotation of things.
That's why it's so amazing. Like, towards the end, when they get all the actors for Sun Up, and everyone stood there frozen solid. Like, it's such a bizarre mental idea. And then, like, you see behind the curtain, and you actually see all the actors. They're all stood there. All the extras waiting. And then it rolls, and then everyone starts moving and driving in their little circles. But
what I'm saying is, like, he starts to notice this like now and like, okay, it's been 30 years since he's been in here. Why hasn't he noticed this before? Why are they all messing up now? Why is his radio messing up now? You know, why can't he hear everything just now? Why is everything messing up? And I think it's because they're trying to say is he's noticing it now because he's looking for it now. And before he was just living oblivious, is being ignorant.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and I think it came off really well to the point that you could totally miss this. Like, wow, why is it so convenient? Like, because that's what they're trying to, and you got to realize that that's what a lot of directors try to do in the movies. They do these type of points for a reason to make you think about what's going on and to drive a point. And there's a lot of points you can make from this movie about what he's talking about society and stuff like that, you know, especially at the end.
Well, when he's at the door at the end,
yeah.
and he's saying it's no different out there than it is in here. There's still questions. There's still, you know.
You see the police officers like, oh, you know, like, oh, what else is on? Like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. That's how they choose to end it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even matter.
Some of the environment, it was so beautiful. Look at how surreal and mental and crazy it is when he gets to that painted wall at the side of the water at the end. You know, such an iconic image of him stood there with his reflection and he's just holding it. And there's the door, there's the exit. Like, God, there's a crazy thing you're looking at there, and it's beautiful. Oh, man. Amazing movie.
Oh man, are you tearing up over there? I wish we had
I love that. This was a good movie, an awesome movie. I'm glad you picked it. I am. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I thought you were like, it's one of my favorites from back then, especially Jim Carrey in a more toned down role instead of him acting like really crazy.
Yeah, the only thing that annoys me with Jim Carrey for a while, and again, this is one of the reasons I like Eternal Sunshine, I think, is they kind of like, they put him in roles and it's like, oh, you're supposed to be a funny guy, and a lot of the time, like, his humor or whatever, it just gets devolved into this base thing where he goes blah, 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 with his face or whatever, you know, and like shakes it around madly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like a Jim Carrey thing, and I feel like in a lot of movies, they're like, oh, you have to do that. Go on, make sure you do that. And this was one of those movies where, again, he does that.
Like one time inside of the car. One time, like his face.
2 occasions where he's doing it.
Yeah, he's like, I was just like, whoa, a little bit of Jim Carrey came out there. A little bit of the mask came out there. Tone that down, Jim Carrey. This ain't that type of movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's okay. I don't hate the guy. I don't hate his humor, and I like a lot of the movies he's in. I just prefer him in these kinds of roles. But yeah, so what do you want to watch for the next movie club? What was the thinking?
The thinking was somebody mentioned Blade Runner, but
this has been on the dock for ages, bro. Like ages.
It was? Okay. Well, I have a few obscure stuff, you know, like something like where we were talking about before, like Nightcrawler. Some of the stuff I watch, like very. Like, it's not, you know, everyone knows about the Avengers and stuff like that. No one really talks about the actual good movies. You know, just pop. No, not like that. Not like that. Like, they're popcorn movies, right? Like, something that has more of a plot, you know, it makes you think and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not saying Avengers is wrong. I mean, I love Avengers, but I love it for a certain reason. You know? Mm-hmm. I love it because it is eye candy. Because, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is in it, and he's a good actor, and I have a big man crush on him. I used to have a man crush of Johnny Depp, but then Johnny Depp just became really bad. Transcendence was the last movie I risked my 2-hour, you know, life. You know, you kind of put 2 hour, like a 2-hour time into the bin for Johnny Depp, and you turn the handle. And then nothing comes out because the movie was very meh. Yeah, well, it's like one of those, you know, at the supermarket. No, you guys don't know the gotcha machines? Gotcha machine? Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I have no idea. No.
You don't know? No, they're in Japan. Japan.
So wait. Well, with these obscure movies, is this like with Oldboy, where you were talking about movies that have really, really good fights?
Really good fight? Well, which one?
Well, when we watched Oldboy, you said that you'd seen a lot of movies that had really, really good choreographed fights.
Yeah. Someone called me out on that. I said Tony Yen, and did I get him wrong? No. Oh, it's Donnie Yen. It's Donnie Yen. Why did I say Tony for? Oh, I mixed Tony Jaw or something like that and Donnie Yen together. That's pretty funny. Should we go? Man, should we go Tony or should we go Donnie? They're two different styles. All right, you know what?
Give me.
Okay, let's go Tony. Let's go Tony.
Tony Yen.
Tony Jaw.
Tony Jaw. Okay. Right.
Tony.
I don't know who either of these people are.
How do you pronounce that? J-A-A.
Tony Jaa?
Have you ever watched The Protector?
No.
Okay, so he has a few movies out there. Let's go with The Protector. Now, these are loose plot. It's all about the action. There is a French movie that is absolutely fantastic that I absolutely have to find for you. But let's start with The Protector. Like, this French movie is ridiculous in action. You haven't seen The Raid either, have you?
No.
Oh.
You're breaking me into this world
actual
cinema.
Action, people who actually know how to direct things properly and actually show punches and stuff. People who actually know how to do, like stunts and act at the same time. Oh man. Oh, speaking of that, all right, we're gonna watch The Protector, but speaking of good action shots, there is this scene. I gotta say, probably one of the best female action scenes ever done. I say that loosely.
Constructed. Okay, yeah.
In a TV show, Sky does a one shot. Like it's like they watched Daredevil and they were like, "Oh, we can do that better," and they did it on the latest Shield, and I'm like, "Damn, girl."
Oh, I saw you tweet about this as well. Yeah,
dude, it was sick, and it was her. It was her. I was like, "That's what I'm talking about." You're not Laura from Arrow, where she like tries to kick. It looks like a skinny white girl in a costume trying to kick people. It looks so bad.
Is that because it is?
You'll get better action from Kick-Ass. You remember Kick-Ass with little kids in costumes? Mm-hmm. And that was even better than Laurel fighting. Like, it's just not that Kick-Ass is bad or anything, but like they're kids and she's a grown woman and she can't spend time training. And I realized that I did someone said I ruined Arrow for them because I pay attention to details, and I'm not even that bad. Like, I know people who really pay attention to every single piece of detail and almost ruins everything for them. But I can go dumb while watching stuff. And it depends on the mood of if the story wraps me in enough, if I like the characters. Mostly the characters will change my mind about watching something. I like seeing characters grow a lot. That's one of my favorite things in shows. And that's why I never drop off shows. Like the first...
Yeah, you've mentioned that quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I like character development. I love it.
It's nearly always one of the big things you say, "Oh, this show's really good because it has this."
Yeah, a lot of shows starts off really slow. Like Breaking Bad started off really, really slow. Really slow, but then you realize it's the style, and it always leads up to some like... It's like it's like someone giving you a massage, and it feels good. They really know how to work in with the hands, but then they get to that place where it hurts, and you're like, "Oh yes," you know that feeling.
My God.
That's kind of like Breaking Bad.
That was very descriptive, man.
Yes, that's like Breaking Bad.
All right, yeah, you were saying though about the one shot.
Yeah, the one shot is amazing.
You transitioned yourself through like 4. I didn't even contribute to that derail.
Yeah.
You managed to jump your brain through 4 different shows.
I'm sorry.
While talking about the one shot that was on Shield.
Yeah, Hulu has really stepped it up for me. I usually didn't really care about Hulu and Netflix and whatnot, but man, Hulu has been like, I will pay my $8 a month for this because it tells you when a show is up. Boom, bomb. We should ask them for a sponsorship. We should do that.
Podcast presented to you by Hulu. You have the little Hulu noise in there.
Yeah.
After VisualWood.
Yeah.
The VisualWood song.
And we should just like corny like commercial breaks and stuff with me and you.
Oh god,
Audio
just like to
adventure
take a
commercial
second
breaks. Yeah.
to let you guys know that this podcast was brought to you by Hulu. What's your favorite TV shows and favorite movies?
Put in
movies?
coupon code VisualWood
for 10% off of your first 3 months worth of subscription. Hulu, keep watching.
First 10 months. Damn. That's a good deal, dude. Guys, you need to jump on that. Can't believe we just gave them free advertisement. We're very honest on this podcast, aren't we? Hopefully that's what you guys like. Anyways, I watched I keep up with everything. I keep up with Flash and everything.
You have 3 shows here written?
No, these are movies.
Oh, they're movies. Oh.
These are I watched a lot more, but I'm gonna tone it down a bit.
I don't think you are, dude. You're on like some crazy. For the past like 6 months, you've been on some insane TV show.
No, I died down a bit. I didn't talk about movies or shows the last 2 podcasts, I think.
They've been pretty movie into. I've been contributing as well, though. No, go ahead. I'm interested.
Yeah, and I'm interested in what you watched. You watched Deadpool, the TV show by Marvel Netflix.
Oh, shush! Don't ruin it. No, shush.
I watched Wolf Children. This totally slipped me by.
Movie.
Yeah, it's an anime movie, and it is fantastic. The guy who does the art, he's doing another movie now, and I don't. It's not out yet. I don't think it's out yet. But the art style is so good, and this makes you laugh. It makes you feel emotion. Guys, if you like anime, or if you don't really care, you watch this. This doesn't have any of that raunchy booby stuff in it or anything like that.
No weirdness.
No weirdness. No. Well, there is boobs, but it's not like, oh, anime boobs, like, Kill la Kill or anything like that, which my friend is forcing me to watch, by the way.
Another derail right there.
Great. Yeah, people will be happy for me giving that a second chance. That is a good movie. If you like anime movies and that slipped you by, you need to watch it. If you like just story-driven
Would you recommend
stuff.
it for me?
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend a lot of the stuff I say I recommend on a thing, but you tend to I'm surprised you even watched this show that you're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Song of the Sea. This is kind of like a kid movie. It's not anime. It's I think it's an Irish animated studio. But I'll look that up right now because I'm talking on my behind again. I tend to do that too much.
It sounds kind of Irish. I don't know why.
Obviously, it came out this year. It's a kiddish movie, but it's one of those kiddish movies where you can watch it as an adult and enjoy it. Like, it's the art style.
A family movie.
It's like a pop-out Ghibli movie. Like a pop-out book Ghibli. It's, oh my gosh. Talk about the visuals. And there's going to be a certain part where you're going to be like, where someone turns into a seal and you're going to be like, Matt, why did you send me this? Why did this person turn into a seal and this is okay? This is not cool. Remember, it's a kid movie, but don't worry, that's not the main point of the story. So yeah, enjoy it for, the adventure, and oh my gosh, is it an adventure?
And not the logic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paddington. British film.
No, we talked about this a little bit last week, I believe.
Did we? Is that where I heard it from?
So.
I heard it from somewhere. I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard about Paddington from somewhere. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. It has a high rating. And I was expecting something totally different.
Oh, no. This was someone else that was talking to me about Paddington, yeah. I have been recommended this. Apparently, it's really good.
It has a 98, and I'm like, I watched it, and I'm like, why does this have a 98? Not that it was bad.
Explain it to everyone.
It's not bad. Okay, so it's a comedy, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like it's from the producers of Harry Potter, by the way. I don't throw that in there. It's about a bear that comes to live with a family. Okay, now, no one is weirded out that a bear is there. This is not that type of movie. This movie is.
Oh, are you familiar with Paddington Bear before this?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm assuming they did it right this time or whatever, because the movie has some really cool visuals, like especially the bears. They're like cartoony, but real at the same time. And the acting for the bears were really well done, so it came off better than it would have if the actors were garbage. Like if the actors were garbage, oh my gosh, it would have came off so bad. But I like this movie in a very weird way, but it is over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call it campy, but it's over the top. There's gonna be sections where it goes into kid mode all of a sudden, where like, don't you know the cartoon shows where someone's flying through the air and all of a sudden they hit the robber? Like that type of stuff. Yeah, that happens in the movie quite a bit. Everyone's clapping, like, everyone's nice except for those robbers or whatever. That type of stuff is in the movie. So expect that. But it is a good time. I wouldn't say it's
this was
98.
Like last year's like Christmas movie. Not a 98.
Yeah. But it's better than a lot of kid movies. Like if this was on the television to watch, I would watch it. I would watch it with
It's a Christmas movie. This released just before 2015 Christmas. Oh, 2014 Christmas.
All right.
It could become like a classic Christmas kind of deal.
Probably something I wouldn't go to the movies to see, but definitely would like put it on for like my little sister. Well, my sister's not really little anymore, but my sister would.
If you had a lot of little kids around.
Yeah, I would put this on. Yeah. It's a fun, good movie. So yeah, there's my 3 movies out of the 20 movies I watched this week.
Wow.
So let's hear about.
All right. Okay. Okay. So Matt had been saying, how do I even explain this without? I'm an idiot. Okay. All right. So Matt had been saying he'd been watching Daredevil on the previous couple of pods, and I was like, do you know what? I think I want to watch it. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I watched Daredevil, and one of the main reasons I'm watching it, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know some stuff about this superhero. This guy's pretty cool. He's gonna end up in like a red suit. He's
you watched the original Daredevil?
I saw a Daredevil movie a while ago.
Yeah,
a long while ago.
Ben Affleck.
Okay,
Affleck.
I was like, okay, he's gonna be in like a red suit. He's probably gonna kick some butt. And doesn't he like start breaking the fourth wall and stuff? Like, isn't the whole point like he knows that he's the hero in the story?
Right, you text me this on Skype, and I'm like, dude, that's Deadpool.
No, that is not what happened on Skype. That is not what happened on Skype.
What do you mean?
You can read it on Skype. I told you that I'd been an idiot and I'd messed up. That's what I said on Skype. I'd already figured out that I'd made the mistake.
That's after.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm going to control F it now.
Yeah, go ahead and control F that.
All right. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh no! Whoa! All right, here's. Oh my God! All right, so I said, and anyway, so I watched this episode of Daredevil, and I'm like, none of that really happened. Like, it just seemed like kind of a generic-y superhero kind of thing, and he's a lawyer and stuff. So I say to Matt, just watch episode 1 of Daredevil. Seems really samey. Isn't he supposed to break the fourth wall and stuff? And then he says, no, that's Deadpool. And I shout, F-U-C-K, damn it, I'm such a scrub. Also, good morning. And that's
that is great.
I'm such an idiot, dude. I thought...
It's fine. It's fine. You're not into the comic books, and I'm not totally hardcore comic book fan either. I know some of what I read, but I don't know everything. I'm not a huge. Well, I'm a nerd. No, I'm a nerd.
As soon as you said that, though, I realized, I was like, wait, yeah, Daredevil is like X-Men related and stuff, and like I was like, just like Daredevil, Jesus, Deadpool is X-Men related.
Whoa, don't don't put my name in your mouth when you're talking gibberish.
But yeah. So I don't know. I for what it's worth, like, so I thought I was watching Deadpool, but I was watching Daredevil. I don't know. Does it? Are you? I mean, how good does this really get? I've still only seen episode 1. I thought it was alright.
You didn't see episode 2? I thought you didn't see episode 2.
Is episode 2? Should I wait
You're
for
more
episode 2 before I
established
judge it?
at episode 2, man.
All right, okay, I'll give it episode 2.
Yeah, like episode 1 is like the startup. Like episode 2 really establishes like, okay, like you're a guy wearing a muscle shirt and a mask on. Like you shouldn't be able to do much at all. And it shows that, and it establishes what his limits are and stuff like that, and it keeps going. And
okay.
It's realistic.
All right, well,
in a comic book way, of course, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's the best.
One thing I did very much like from episode 1 was he's so attuned to his other senses. He was listening to the rate of people's heartbeats to determine if they were lying. Mm-hmm. And there was one particular scene where he did that I thought was really, 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 really cool and very clear what was going on. And I was like, well, you can obviously tell this person is lying, and he knows it as well. And I thought that was cool. That was really awesome. The other thing I did as well, we'll talk more about it next pod then when I've seen a bit more of it. The other thing I watched was Prisoners, which you talked a little bit about on previous pods. After we watched Donnie Darko, I thought that was insanely amazing. Even possibly better than they're amazing in different ways. But I talked very highly of Truman Show this pod as well. Prisoners, I would also talk very highly of. Very dark movie, incredible movie though. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And I thought Hugh Jackman in it was amazing as well. But the idea of that movie though, guys, is two families and their daughters. They move into a new. I think they've just moved in, and their daughters go missing. And on the one hand, you're following the cops try and resolve the issue, and on the other hand, you're watching Hugh Jackman, one of the fathers, try and resolve it in his own way. And they're both basically on the same side, but they both have very, very, very different methods. And you're kind of just watching both of their stories in parallel as they try and find these girls. It's very dark. But a really, really cool movie.
Yeah, Prisoners tells you that Hugh Jackman can be more than just Wolverine, you know? Because a lot of people tend to forget that he is an actor. He plays the role of Wolverine. Wolverine is, the dumb character, my fist, He's
also just an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Well, so there you go. That's what I've been watching. Do you want to move on to the questions?
Yeah, sure.
We haven't had a riddle for a while. Screw it. We'll do a riddle. Next week. I haven't one.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. Go ahead.
Oh, brilliant. Well, the next one. Okay, well, the first question is from Chaos Within. I'm all over the place. He says, question, Mr. Visual. Now that you know what WP looks like, do you and he have romantic face cam sessions, either when doing the pod or at any other times? If not, why not? Is he shy?
Yeah, we tend to have face cam like...
We had that spaghetti dinner over the internet, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched the movie together.
What we do is we both find a recipe and we both make sure we use the same ingredients and we both make the same food for one another, and then we eat it together and we watch a movie together, and these are like our date nights.
So it's like we're living together, but we're not,
But we're not, But we try and simulate it as best we can.
Yeah. No, we don't do face cam.
We buy each other pajamas and wear them.
Yeah, we don't do face cam. I've been pushing to do some.
When it happened, he was like, "Oh, we should do webcam. I was like, "No, dude."
VisualWood Live. If we were ever to end the show, maybe we should do VisualWood Live.
No, what are you doing? No, you cannot promise people we're gonna do a live VisualWood where I'm face camming for like the end of the show. What is that? Speaking of the end of the show. Morlen says, "What the fudge, guys? Why did you put the podcast on hold? I'm kind of glad I found the show after your break because I would have been so upset. Don't ever go on a break again. Keep up the wonderful work."
All right, so he had a whole paragraph before this talking about like he was like marathoning a lot of the podcasts, and then he reached a point where we took a long break, like for like 5 months, something like that.
Oh, it wasn't that long, dude. We stopped it in summer and we brought it back that autumn. So it was probably like 3 months, I guess.
Man,
we can check. You explain the situation. I'll check on your channel.
But yeah. So the reason why was because of the whole. People only wanted Guild Wars 2 talk. all the time.
You'll notice the pod's very different once we.
Yeah, it's very different. Like we of course we talk about Guild Wars 2 when we want to talk about Guild Wars 2. It comes up organically through conversation, not in there just because we weren't really enjoying it when we're like, okay, we have to talk about this because what's the point of the podcast then? And you might as well just watch our news videos, which everyone does. What's the point of
4 months? It was a 4-month break. Episode 44, 10 months ago.
There you go.
And then episode 45 was 6 months ago.
I was close. So if
Very close.
you're 3 and I was 5, so if we come together in the middle.
Oh.
Oh wow. Someone cut that out. I like that. I like that. It's like a little bit of
Keep going.
Yeah, so it was a lot of that going on at the time. And
and GW2 was just depressing at the time. Like the community was going mental about all kinds of stuff, and it was
And you can see like during that time at the channel, I was just like, I don't even want to hear the whining. So I started doing like reviews and stuff like that, and
we also, for what it's worth, we never really planned it. We missed like 1 week.
Yeah,
like we missed 1 week, and I know certainly in my life, if I miss like one thing, I tend to snowball, and then it gets worse and worse and worse until I snap out and I start doing the stuff again. And we missed that 1 week, and I remember, and we were like, oh, we'll just do it next week. I can't quite remember what happened on that next week, whether we got in a call and decided maybe we should put it on hold. But it was like, it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Like everything we thought was going as normal, then we missed a week. And then after that, we both kind of got some perspective from having missed that week, I suppose. And then sort of the decision came about at that point, right?
Yeah. And then we just kind of stopped it because we wanted to stop it while it was hot. But then an overwhelming people were like saying, bring it back. But I think a lot of these people were saying bring it back because they thought that we're just going to talk about Guild Wars 2 like they want. They just want us to talk about news that they already heard, that they already read up. News. Like it's news.
I remember for a while when we were doing the pod, I would do my own video on the news. You would do your own video on the news. Then we'd come on together and say the same things we said in our videos.
Thing ever. It's the most boring thing ever for people who we want to entertain. I mean, we do this because people enjoy it, and we like to talk to each other and stuff like that. We intentionally not talk about certain stuff, that we could talk about the pod, and we put it on the pod for you guys. And while we're on this subject, we're thinking about changing the podcast in a way.
Somehow. We're not sure how.
Yeah, we don't want to stop doing something together, obviously, but we kind of feel like, I guess be more me than you. I kind of want to evolve.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy either way.
Oh, yeah. I want to evolve the channel a little bit, and I felt like the podcast is getting less and less views, so less and less people are watching it. I can show analytics and all that type of stuff, but it's basically it was built
SoundCloud
on
user base.
It's not gonna people are not gonna come to the channel like, oh, there's a podcast and 2-hour long podcast, let's go listen to it. It's just on the channel for people who enjoy it. So we were thinking about, I know it's probably not going to work if we put it just on SoundCloud or anything like that. And maybe we do something that's, every once in a while we get together and we sit down and we do a VisualWood podcast on the SoundCloud. Just, not every week, but, every now and then when we want to talk about stuff and stuff like that. But I don't know if that would work. But we were thinking about doing something with it. This is going really deep, huh?
Yeah, this is just open speculation we just have amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea is the Sunday show with us is still going to keep going. It just might not be in podcast form.
Yeah.
But we might... So we don't know, though, because I in particular like a lot of the stuff we talk about in the podcast, and I like that we have an avenue for it. So that's just it. It was just the general idea that I guess you wanted to float out to everyone, right? And see whether people have any ideas.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people do like it, but I realize that it tends to dip a bit. a lot, especially when it comes down to
a lot,
a lot, like more than half, and that's just how it is. So I'm wondering why, maybe we should spend more time doing something else, and I don't know, maybe once in a while we do like a stream together, not every week or something like that, like different stuff like that. But yeah, we won't stop doing stuff with each other on Sunday, and I mean, this is up in the air right now. We don't know for sure what we're gonna do, but we kind of wanted to leave it open to the audience that actually listens to us, and it's all the way at the end. So people who actually listen to us all the way to the end, they kind of know what's going on, and kind of want to leave it.
They can have their say.
Yeah, you can have your talk about that, and we'll be reading the comments. Hopefully, it won't be all about vegan. And how vegan is not healthy, and how vegan is healthy, and how...
Oh, God. All right. Okay.
Oh, God.
All right. Before Matt gets angry, thank you very much.
We'll see you next time. Maybe.
Bye.